is Trisha Patrick, and I'm here to tell you about sharing Jeremy's joy and what it's all about. This is my husband, Kirby, and between us we have 6 children. However, tonight I'll be telling you more about my son, Jeremy. Here he is pictured. And this is the rest of the family that you can kind of pass around. So 10 years ago, around this time, my son Jeremy and I had a regular weekly visit. His dad and I were divorced, and so we had split custody, and so I only got to see him on every Tuesday and every other weekend. So on this particular Tuesday evening, we had taken Jeremy out to eat, and he decided he wanted to stop at the store, buy himself a shirt, and get his sister some heart earrings for Valentine's Day. He had recently broke his foot lifting weights for football training, and he'd been walking around on crutches all day at school, so needless to say, he was exhausted. And he asked us to drop him off at his dad's a little earlier than usual. We were very surprised though, just a few hours later, when we got a desperate phone call saying that Jeremy was in the ER and close to death. I could not believe my ears when I heard his dad tell me that Jeremy had attempted to take his own life. After 2 days in the hospital on life support, Jeremy died the day before Valentine's Day. This was so unexpected and earth-shattering to our family and all of Jeremy's friends and teachers at the school and at his church. 2 years later, when the anniversary of Jeremy's death was approaching, I was feeling still very overwhelmed and heartbroken, and I thought how horrible it was that his friends and family all had said that him dying the day before Valentine's Day had ruined that day for them forever. I did not want this to be the case, and I knew Jeremy would not want it either. One night I was up, I couldn't sleep, I was crying and praying and asking the Lord, kind of wrestling with him, because I did not want everyone to hate the very day that Jeremy loved and that spoke to who he was. He loved spreading joy and loved making people feel special. God spoke to me that night and he said, go share Jeremy's joy. So from that moment till today, I choose to embrace Valentine's Day instead of pushing it away and hating it. So now our house turns into a Valentine factory every year, January and February. We make Valentine cards, we collect candy and treats, and we distribute to nursing homes and children's homes all around this area, and some other states as well. Last year we were able to give to about 16 different facilities, and we gave out about 1,200 cards. This is why I need help. Jeremy was a huge romantic. He loved romantic books and music, and he watched sappy love stories and movies, and of course he loved girls. He would buy them jewelry, flowers, chocolates, and one year he cut out tons and folded origami hearts, and he wrote "I love you" in every language he could find from around the world. So as you can see, he loved Valentine's Day and everything romantic. However, he also loved sports. Especially football. He played hard and he got plenty of injuries along the way. Jeremy loved and adored the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning, who was on their team at the time. Another thing about Jeremy was that he loved children. He loved little kids so much, they made him so very happy. He would carry them around and play with them, and one of the things he enjoyed doing was help teach a Sunday school class for kids at his church. As much as Jeremy loved kids, he had an unusual connection with just about everyone, whether they were young or old. He connected especially well with those who didn't feel noticed or cared about. He gave them attention and made them feel very special. So many kids have written to us since then and said, quote, Jeremy made me smile, and Jeremy always smiled at me. Jeremy was the first person to make me feel welcome at school. This came from kids and teachers alike. He shared his big contagious smile with everyone he passed in the halls at school. He greeted them daily with hugs and words of encouragement. He loved to say funny things and make people laugh. I have also been told that he would text and send words of encouragement and verses to other people to help motivate them. Jeremy gave away joy to others, even though he was actually hurting on the inside himself. He had suffered through several physical issues, like I mentioned earlier, which included that stress fracture to his foot, which took him out of the football season and also made him think he would probably not be a candidate for a football scholarship and be able to do football the rest of his life. He also had a huge amount of emotional hurt down inside because that was due to his father and I were divorced, and he was not able to live with both of his parents, and he was separated from his siblings most of the time, which really bothered him. One night, after another painful disappointment, he was hurting so badly, he became so overwhelmed and forgot the joy that he had shared with others. He failed to call them for help or to pray with him to help find a different perspective on what was going on. He ended up looking for an escape and ended up attempting to take his own life. So we, his family and friends, were extremely devastated because none of us knew he was hurting that badly. We wished we had done something to reach out to him and help prevent this from happening. We wished we could have rescued him from all that pain and heartache that he was going through. Now, years before this, Jeremy had opened his heart to Jesus and allowed him to take control of his life and his actions. Others did see the big change in his life, especially in his attitude. He often talked to others about Jesus and the importance of his faith in God. And we have his journals and his Bibles that show things that he was studying and learning. But on that particular night, he became hopeless and ended up making a very poor decision that became a permanent solution for a temporary problem. Jeremy's life, Jeremy's potential, and Jeremy's opportunities all came to a screeching halt. However, Jeremy's influence and his story and his legacy did not stop there. We're here today to share the joy that Jeremy gave while he was living. We want to plead with you, though, to grow in your own faith and share joy even when you're hurting, and never ever think that quitting on life is a solution. It just brings more pain and heartache. Also, if you can remember how badly you felt about something just last week, and then today it doesn't seem half as bad, you might be hurting, and it's okay to hurt and even to cry. But turn your crying into praying and ask God to help you to get through to the other side and find the sunshine, and he will. Psalms 30 verse 5 says, "Weeping or crying may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning." If you can't see through your situation and think it's too awful to survive, or you do not know how you'll make it through, please tell an adult that you need help and be honest with them. Tell them that you don't want to just become a memory like my Jeremy is, and that you want someone to help you find a reason to live and to be able to bless others. If you ever feel like that you want to hurt yourself or you give up all hope, you can also text 988. That's 988. Thank you guys for allowing us to come tell you about sharing Jeremy's joy and helping us pass along Jeremy's joy and God's love to so many other people in this community.